10 Things You Didn't Know About the San Francisco 49ers. Kickoff Zone presents 10 Things You Didn't Know About the San Francisco 49ers. We mine for rare facts that even the most avid 49ers fans might not know about. From Jerry Rice and his brick hands to the East Coast offense, this is a roller coaster of Niners nuggets that you won't find anywhere else. So grab your helmet, buckle up, and let's sprint into some 49er lore you didn't see coming. Number 10. Survivor 49er Edition. Step back in time to 1946. That's when the San Francisco 49ers kicked off as a part of the All-American Football Conference, or AAFL. But here's the kicker. Pun intended. The Niners were among just 3 AAFL teams to weather the 1950 merger with the NFL. The others? The Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Colts. Many franchises vanished, but not our Golden State Warriors of the gridiron. They held their ground and emerged as a cornerstone in the newly united league. So the next time the topic of NFL history pops up, remember to tip your hat to the 49ers. Well done, boys. Well done. They've been through the gauntlet and come out on top, laying the groundwork for the NFL as we know it today. That's resilience at its finest. Number 9. The Dancin' Gold Rush. When you hear Gold Rush, you might think of cheerleaders at Levi's Stadium. What you may not know is that they were one of the first to turn to professional dance back in the 80s. They replaced pom-poms with intricate dance moves, shaping a new kind of sideline entertainment. Cassie Soto, a former Gold Rush member, later transitioned to sports broadcasting. So when you see the Gold Rush's show-stopping routines, you're not just watching cheerleaders, you're watching future stars in various high-profile careers. Number 8. East Coast Offense. You've obviously heard of the West Coast Offense, the brainchild of the 49ers' legendary coach Bill Walsh. This strategy revolutionized football, focusing on short, horizontal passes to move the chains. But did you know this iconic strategy wasn't even named by the 49ers? The name West Coast Offense was actually coined by New York Giants coach Bill Parcells, who used it somewhat derisively. He was trying to downplay the system's complexity, but the name stuck. Funny enough, the strategy itself had its roots in Cincinnati, where Walsh was an assistant coach before coming to San Francisco. So it's not even West Coast in origin. Number 7. Draft Steals. Any 49er or NFL fan would remember Tom Rathman and Dwight Hicks, 2 draft steals who became legends in their own right. Tom Rathman, a 4th-round pick in 1986, wasn't just another name on the roster. He was a pivotal part of the 49ers' back-to-back Super Bowl wins in the late 80s. Rathman was more than a blocker. He was a Swiss Army knife on the field, capable of running, catching, and even throwing when needed. Then there's Dwight Hicks, a man who didn't even hear his name called on draft day. As an undrafted free agent, he clawed his way onto the 49ers roster. Hicks quickly became a cornerstone of the defense, earning 4 Pro Bowl selections and 2 Super Bowl rings. He proved it's not where you start, but where you finish that counts. Number 6. Never said they were saints. Think the 49ers are all about glitz and Super Bowl glory? Think again. Every franchise has its dark chapters, and the Niners are no exception. Remember the salary cap scandal of the late 90s? Sure, you know they got fined, but do you know they almost lost their 2001 first-round draft pick? Yep, the league was that close to dropping the hammer. And how about this nugget? In 2014, Aldon Smith was suspended for 9 games for violating the NFL's substance abuse and personal conduct policies. Not a big shock, right? But here's what you didn't know. Smith still collected more than $1 million from the team while suspended, due to a clause few people knew about in his contract. The man got paid while not even stepping on the field. Now that's what you call a controversy that not just shakes, but rattles. Number 5. $1 Million Secret. You've heard about power duos, but have you ever heard of a $1 million backfield? For the 49ers, this wasn't just an exaggeration, it was a reality. Comprised of Y.A. Tittle, John Henry Johnson, Hugh McElhaney, and Joe Perry, this backfield was the first to have all 4 of its members inducted into the Hall of Fame. Joe the Jet Perry was the first African American to be named the NFL's most valuable player in 1954. Hugh McElhaney was not just a speedster, he was a showman. Legend has it that he once stopped at the 1-yard line, took off his helmet, and combed his hair before strolling into the end zone. Looking good, looking good. Talk about making an entrance. It's these quirks that make the $1 million backfield not just wealthy in talent, but rich in personality. Number 4. Joe and Steve. Joe Montana and Steve Young are names that even casual NFL fans know. But how about some lesser-known tidbits? Montana wasn't initially a hot draft prospect. In fact, he was the 82nd pick in the 1979 NFL Draft, taken in the 3rd round. Who would have thought this overlooked QB would become one of the greatest of all time? As for Young, he's not just a football Hall of Famer, but also holds a law degree from BYU. Even more astonishing, he's a direct descendant of Brigham Young, a leader in the Mormon Church and founder of Brigham Young University. Number 3. The catch. We've all seen the replay 1,000 times. Joe Montana rolling to his right and throwing a high pass that Dwight Clark miraculously snags out of the air. This wasn't just a play, it was a turning point in NFL history. Many thought that Joe was throwing the ball away, but did you know that Montana and Clark practiced that play routinely, even though it almost never worked in practice? And here's the lesser-known impact of the catch. It didn't just propel the 49ers to Super Bowl glory, it inspired a whole new generation of athletes. The play became a cultural touchstone. Countless kids on countless playgrounds were throwing their own high-arching passes, dreaming of their Dwight Clark moment. Even more profound, it created a catch phenomenon. Suddenly, every miraculous grab in sports was compared to the catch, whether it was in football, baseball, or even frisbee. This iconic moment transcended the game itself, setting a new standard for athletic heroism and launching a cultural trend that we still see today. Number 2. Jerry Rice had brick hands. Jerry Rice is synonymous with greatness in the NFL, holding numerous records that still stand today. But what's not in the stat sheet is just as interesting. Did you know that Rice developed his extraordinary hand-eye coordination by catching bricks that his father tossed at him? Yep, bricks. Who needs football when you've got masonry? Another lesser-known fact, Rice was a late bloomer. He didn't even start playing football until his sophomore year of high school. He got his break when the school's principal caught him skipping class and, impressed by Rice's speed, suggested he try out for football. During his pro days, Rice never took a break. Famously, Rice would catch at least 2 passes in a row from every yard line on the field before every game. That's 200 catches before the game even started. Talk about dedication! Number 1. The real story behind the 49ers name and colors. The San Francisco 49ers name and colors aren't random choices. They carry historical weight. The name 49ers is a nod to the California Gold Rush of 1849. But it was almost a different story. The franchise seriously considered naming the team the Seals, as in the sea animals. Just picture that in an alternate universe. The colors are another tale. The first uniforms were inspired by California sunsets, not the Gold Rush's gold. In fact, the iconic scarlet and gold colors were a later addition. For those really into gear, here's something most fans don't know. The team's original helmets were silver. They made the shift to the current gold helmets in 1964. And it's not just about looks. The 49ers name and colors encapsulate a transformative period in California's history that brought waves of people in search of fortune to the Golden State. Scarlet and Gold faithful, thanks for joining us on this gold mining adventure through 49ers history. You could have been a bandwagon fan, but you chose to dig deep, like the prospectors of 49. So what are you waiting for? Rush to that like button like you've struck gold. And don't forget to stake your claim by hitting subscribe. Share this video with your fellow Niners fans and even those unfortunate souls who cheer for other teams. Let's keep this golden legacy rolling. Until next time, stay gold.